Very disappointing loss this past weekend. Just didn't play well. Didn't play well on offense. Didn't play well in the kicking game. Defensively, played well enough to win the football game, but you just can't give up the third downs that we gave up. Look at the start of that second half. We gave up 3 third downs that were critical. Actually, they took the ball, wouldn't score. But offensively, we never got on rhythm. Never could sustain drives. And partially, you look at what the kicking game, just the penalties in the kicking game. That's what we can't have. The offense that was backed up in a hole all day and had to take the ball and just drive it. Had a chance there early. If we get off the field on third down, probably could have gotten the ball back at the midfield, but we just never got off the field. Just didn't play well, and then we lost one of our key players, and Bilal Powell, and that did not. There was no reason for us not to go out and still compete. We have to learn how to play on the road, which we have not done yet. Counting Saturday, that's the 11th straight game that we have lost on the road. We had to find a way as a coaching staff where we can get our guys to go compete on the road. And we're going into a tough environment this weekend. We're going to go to Syracuse, and it's going to be a packed dome. And our players need to learn how to play on the road. It's going to be critical. That's a really good football team, a team that is playing with a lot of confidence, a team that's not beating themselves. If you look at them on offense, nothing fancy they do. They just control the ball, and then they get their opportunities. They go score. Defensively, they're creating a lot of turnovers. That's how they beat West Virginia. That's how they beat South Florida. And they're not turning the ball over. They went up to Cincinnati and beat a really good Cincinnati team this past weekend. So the challenge is there, but I challenge our football team to just go play well on the road and see if we can win a football game on the road.
Charlie, what's the latest on Bilal? Do you know
Bilal is going to be day-to-day, week-to-week. He has swelling on the knee.
Is the injury a bruised knee? What is it? Is there, any more than just swelling on the knees?
It's just, I don't know if it's a bruise, but he has a swelling on the knee.
What is it? Did Convictor play?
Vic Anderson will be this week. We'll just see where we're going to stand with him. It's a good chance that he will be able to play.
What about Froman? Is he okay?
Froman is going to get checked today, and then we'll just see exactly where his injury is.
Was it an ankle, you think? Is
it more of an upper, maybe a thigh bruise.
John, can you talk about the if Powell can't go, kind of what your thoughts are on this running back situation and how that affects your offense and so on and so forth?
Well, if Bilal isn't able to go, you still have Jeremy Wright, who came in and finished the game. And then you have Blaine Donnell, who could come in, who played also. And then if Vic is ready to go, then you feel really good with Vic because he's been a starter. And so you look at it, we have some guys that can go play it. But you lose Bilal, who's a really special player, but you still have your offensive line. If your quarterback's ready to play, you still have him. You still have your wide receivers. So you still expect guys to now some guys just going to have to play better than what they've been playing. So these guys got to turn it up a notch.
Was that a blow mentally to the team at all, Charlie, when they saw Bilal go down?
No, I think at that point in the game it was 13-3. Yeah, 13-3 at that point when he went down. Guys just have to learn to fight through. That's nothing but a little adversity. Yeah, we just have to learn to fight through that as a football team.
If Roman can't play, where do you stand after your quarterback situation?
Well, you still have Burke and you still have Will Stein, so both of those guys will get an opportunity to go play.
And then, whether Roman would play or not?
I'm sorry?
Is it a question whether Roman will be able to play or not?
I don't know right now, but today he'll get checked later on today, so we'll know more.
Did you guys hold Bilal out on Saturday just as a precautionary? Could he have re-entered that game, or at that point it was bad enough to where he couldn't?
No, I think that our medical staff made a decision once they got him over and checked him. There was no need in putting him back in the game.
What's different about playing on the road? What do you attribute to losing that many in a row? You have been part of those, but what is different? What is the challenge that your team needs to do better versus being at home?
Well, anytime you go on the road, you have to have focus, and you just can't be distracted, and it takes discipline where guys have to learn that you're going to have to fight. It's going to be an emotional swing where their crowd gets into the game. How do you take their crowd out of the game? You have to go play great defense, and then you have to have some confidence. You have to compete and have confidence, and I don't know if we have enough confidence where we haven't won, Saturday, like you say, 11 straight, so you're looking at where's the confidence? Why don't we go compete? As well as we play at home, why can't we play that way on the road? And do guys really believe in themselves that they can go win a road game?
What does Syracuse do on defense? They try to kind of confuse the quarterback a lot with a lot of different stuff.
Well, they're really good up front, and if you look at it, Chandler Jones is a defensive lineman who's playing really well for them. But they create a lot of turnovers, and they put pressure on offenses. And you look at the South Florida game, I want to say he threw 4 interceptions. And then you look at this game this past weekend, they had the ball. Cincinnati, Syracuse offense got the ball twice inside the 16-yard line. So it's just creating disruption, and they're really disruptive on defense.
Syracuse defensive line, did they compare it all to Pittsburgh? I mean, are they like on that?
Little different Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh had those 2 defensive ends that weren't very big, where they were pass rush guys, who they could get up the field. Whereas Syracuse is big and physical, where they can take you and just move you out of the way, throw you around. Just a big old physical. Even the offensive line is big and physical, where it's a physical football team.
Does that become a tougher team to do what you guys want to do, pound the ball and run a lot?
Well, we feel like we can run the ball on anyone. Even in the Pittsburgh game, Lyle leaving, we still get 100 yards rushing if he stays in there. Who knows? We're able to break one in the second quarter. But we have to run the football. It's who we are. And we feel we're a physical team. We feel like we're a physical team, then we're going to have to run the football.
What do you attribute Froman's struggles to in that game? It seemed like he started well and then it changed. What, as you looked at tape, what was different later in the game than that first drive?
Well, I don't know so much as you just single out Froman, but just offensively, we just didn't play well. We didn't block for him. We didn't block for the running backs. Even wide receivers, we just didn't get open. So it's more of just a team effort where we just didn't play well. And then you look at it, even in the special teams, we just didn't play well. So I don't know if it's just one guy. I know he had his issues, but, we had a lot of issues out there on Saturday.
Defensively, you held them to 255 yards total offense. They averaged 30 a game. You held them to 20. Overall, were you pleased with the defensive effort on Saturday?
Well, anytime we look at our defense and, you look at stats and you say, hey, 255 yards, 10 points less than what they're averaging, just go outplay the other team's defense. Did we outplay the other team's defense? No. We did not outplay the other team's defense. And that's where you had to look at games. And when you get into those games, I think stats can be misleading, but just go outplay the other team's defense. They hit our quarterback twice. They got 2 turnovers. One they picked up in return. We had a chance to get turnovers. We didn't get them. We had a chance to stop them on third down. We didn't stop them on third down. So we always look at our defense and say, yeah, I guess you may have played well, but go out play the other team's defense.
Got a lot of young guys playing on the special teams, but a couple of those penalties were veteran guys. I mean, how disappointing was that to see? Because it made a big difference with the field positioning.
Well, just penalties are not very good at all, whether it's a veteran guy or a young guy. Because field position, you always look at your special teams and you always tell them to create field position where you can score, set up a score, and which we did. We actually hurt us with field position because our offense had to drive the ball out of a hole 3 or 4 different times. You look at the opening kickoff, we're offsides. We have them pinned on the 18-yard line. We're offsides. Now we have to go back, kick it again. Now they get the ball on the 43-yard line. Then we return the ball out there. Then all of a sudden there's a holding call. Now the ball gets backed up to the 10 or 11-yard line. But it's just foolish mistakes, just mistakes that you make that we shouldn't be making right now. I mean, you look at it, it was this 7th game into the season, and we're still making those mistakes, which you can't have if you're going to be a good football team and if you need to play well.
Have you reviewed a lot of Syracuse from last year, or have you pretty much just stuck to what they've done this year? Because I was just wondering what difference you see at quarterback.
I just actually did not look at last year, just have focus on this year. Her quarterback, it's what they do. They don't ask him to do a lot, and he's not getting a beat. It's a lot of play-action pass. They have a really good running back where he can turn around, hand the ball off, and he has a big old strong offensive line. It's a team that they don't beat themselves, so when you don't beat yourselves, that quarterback's not asked to do a lot of things. He can throw the ball down the field when he needs to get him outside on the perimeter a lot with a lot of bootlegs and play actions.
How is Bilal doing? I mean, something like that could be scary for him, not knowing, I guess, originally when, how serious it could be at that point.
Bilal's doing fine. I mean, he's a strong young man. He's been through a lot, so it's just another bump in the road that he'll be able to overcome.
You said day-to-day, week-to-week, is that something that maybe could go up to almost game time with Bilal?
This game, yeah, because we're going to check and just see where he is and let the medical staff make that decision.
Will you change your game plan at all, Bilal, in or out, or will it be the same no matter who's in it?
No, we can't, because if you're looking at one player, I know he's a special player, but you still have, like I said, Jeremy Wright needs to step up. Vic Anderson, if he's ready to go, then Vic will be ready to go play, and then Blaine Donnell. But we have to continue to do what we do best is run the football, so we're going to have to run the ball.
Do you have any hard and fast rule in terms of how many practices the player can miss and still play in the game on Saturday, or is it if Bilal misses the whole week of practice, is basically what I'm saying, would he still be able to play, or would you not?
Well, Bilal is one of those players who probably can miss a whole week and be ready to go play, huh? You want me to hold him out if he's healthy? No, it's a decision it's one of the decisions that you would make depending on the player. If you think that he can go learn and he hasn't practiced, a lot of guys, you get into the season now where guys have practiced enough where you feel comfortable enough where if they miss a practice, you can put them in a game and they know what to do.